Shalom. Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash, Bakta Yahweh, Bakta Yahweh Shai, Bakta Racha Kodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Shalom and double honors unto the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders and the Akim and the Akwat of the hopeful elect. Shalom. Just want to go into a quick video, quick news and headlines updates. We'll just go ahead here and go down the list and read some of these headline articles and grab a few precepts and close out. Just having a quick little briefing on what's going on. So here it says, warning, U.S. food supply will soon be contaminated with, right, you see that, the mRNA jabs, tainted meat. That's pretty. That's a lot right there. It says, beware the source of your beef, pork, and seafood. And you see these are heathen writing these articles. It's Edomite. It's an Edomite devil. And we know part of the reason why the Most High destroying this place is because of the unlawful, abominable diet, right? And so it looks like, well, this was news. We heard about this a good while back, that they're going to be doing that to the meat. So you definitely want to now start being circumspect, because it looks like it's going to be they're about to really start turning up on trying to do that, right? So one of my first videos was about this stuff here. You know, that juice that they go into your arm, right? And it changes up the DNA and all other stuff, but I won't go into it because don't want to get potentially this video taken down. But so here, they're gonna be looking to contaminate from the article. It's not my words, it's here right here. And so start looking into possibly scaling down your meat intake and possibly even trying to get off of meat. Everything's tainted. And so we'll go ahead and get Ecclesiastes 14 and verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. So we know Esau Edom, he is not good to himself. He'll infect his own people. So a man that'll do that and self-destructive, he can't possibly be constructive with anyone else, right? And here it says, breaking, Los Angeles School District rescinds C-19 job mandate. Over 1,000 employees who were wrongfully terminated now await justice. So, rescinds meaning backtrack and pulling back and trying to, retract the mandate that they had made. And because they were going crazy in 2020 with all these mandates, and if you don't get this, you're gonna be fired, and this, that, and the third, right? And now they're starting to backtrack on that now and reverse it. So we'll go to Job 13 and 4. But ye are forgers of lies. What is a forger? Creator. When you create something, ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. Because the word pharmacia, or pharmacy, goes to the Greek word pharmakia, which means witchcraft, sorcery. That's why Walgreens, the logo for Walgreens is a big pot and a stick sticking out of it. That's a big spoon. That's a witch's cauldron. Witchcraft, sorcery. So they're physicians of no value, and if it was, their mandates and everything was of value, then they would be able to justify the mandates and making people lose their jobs, right? And then highly influencing them and muscling them to lose their jobs. They would be able to justify doing so if they were physicians of value, right? So next article says, shocking U.S. Navy report shows China's shipbuilding capacity is 232 times that of the U.S. So this is just America, more signs that America has fallen. economically, militarily, financially, you know, at every morally, they had no morals to begin with, but the deterioration of the sexuality and the alphabet um, virus, that's plaguing this country now. But people walking around with different kind of color, cotton candy colors in their hair, right? And it's just people just bugged out of their minds. And so we'll read a little bit here. Lord willing, this article pops up. I mean, this was working fine a minute ago before I started. It's Satan. Okay, it says, recently leaked intelligence from the U.S. Navy shows that China's shipbuilding capacity is currently 232 times higher than that of the U.S. So this is a U.S. Navy report. This is from the U.S. Navy and the U.S. military itself. Come on, man. It says, a very I can't even say the word, worrying statistic as the People's Liberation Army Navy seeks to expand its global reach. This figure comes from a leaked briefing slide from the U.S. Navy. Inside the U.S. Navy itself, their intelligence that they speak on in private meetings, it got leaked. A spokesperson for the Navy confirmed to Fox News Digital. So a spokesperson for the Navy confirmed it to their news source, this news source here, Fox News Digital, that the slide was authentic. So it's legitimate. It shows that while American shipyards currently have a capacity of under 100,000 tons, the capacity of Chinese shipyards exceeds 23.2 million tons. So you times 100,000 by 10, and that's a million. So an additional 20. So a million times 20 is what, 20 million, and then what, 23. A million times 23 is 23.2. So so China is vastly superior in their building capacity. And we know everything made in China, right? In America, they have no talent and they're lazy. Everything is outsourced out of this country to China and other parts, throughout the other three corners of Africa, Europe, and Asia. So we know that America, it's lazy, it's resting on its laurels, and now, China is pouring all of their efforts and focus in on overcoming the U.S. and linking up with Russia, and that's with the bear, Gog and Magog, Russia, right? So America is just more evidence, that America, is more of a third world country than people want to accept here in America, and they're behind in every aspect. So we'll go from there, because this was the top nation, and everything, but not anymore. As the media, they will lead the masses to believe here in America. They're dumbed down by this media and media it goes into this ancient heathen, I believe, Roman false god, media, the god of illusion, false god of illusion, and through their media they have built up an illusion, a mental wall of illusion in the people's minds, thinking that this country was greater than what it is. This country is hanging on by a thread. Jeremiah 49:7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the Most High Power, Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts. Is wisdom no more in Teman? Teman was the capital city of ancient Esau. And it's believed, it's the Germans today, and they're with America, and the EU and NATO pact. Its council perished from the prudent, and we know the German scientists made those nuclear bombs and everything. That's their top weaponry in their military. Is counsel perished from the prudent, is their wisdom vanished. So, they're being surpassed by China and Russia and all of its allies over there because it's biblical prophecy for them to get taken down now. Joel, let's see, 2, where is that? 2 and in verse 8. So I'd like to go into this verse here. Very heavy and profound. It says, neither shall one thrust another. This is going into the thermonuclear missiles. Going to be so many shot, but the Most High will be guiding these missiles because they're not going to hit each other when they're in the air and about to come down upon this landmass. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. So if they're falling down and they fall on the sword, they won't be wounded, meaning what? It's too powerful for whatever this sword is, right? And when you go into that word sword, it means salah or shalah. Yeah, shalah. It goes weapon, missile, sprout, missile, weapon. So it goes this. The Bible mentions missiles. So when it falls upon a missile, it won't be wounded. So that goes into America's anti-missile defense system. So when Russia and China and all the allies and the traitors to the U.S., the traitors of the EU and the Confederacy of the European Union and NATO, right? The allies of America, they're gonna defect and join Russia and China. They're gonna all shoot missiles over here and burn them with fire, as prophesied, I believe in Revelation. And when those missiles, so when it goes up in the air, it's going to come down over here, right? So when it falls upon the missile, meaning that America's going to try to intercept the incoming thermonuclear missiles with their own anti-missile defenses, when they shoot them up, and someone will get hit. Some of the incoming missiles will get hit, but they won't be bothered, and it won't be moved, and it won't be harmed, as the Most High just prophesied right here. So now going back, next article, Tech, which is a technology CEO and Black Lives Matter supporter, killed and raped by an ex-convict black man, so-called, it's a Judite from the tribe of Judah, who was released early by Soros-funded defense attorney. So, this madness going on. I guess a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah killed a technology CEO and Black Lives Matter supporter. But that Black Lives Matter movement was all just about women being over the men, and because mainly just women and the alphabet people was running that, right? It's a wicked organization. It's not of the Most High, of Satan. And so Isaiah 19, and this is just a little preview of what's going to be happening on a grand scale here real soon. Isaiah 19 and 17, and the land of Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt. And in Exodus 20 and 2, Egypt means bondage, and slavery. So, bondage, right? So this is a prophecy because the word says Judah shall be a terror unto Egypt, meaning in future tense. And when Isaiah wrote this prophecy, this was well after the ancient Egypt slavery that we were in. So this is a modern day Egypt. This is in the modern day Pharaoh. This is America. Everyone that maketh mention thereof shall be afraid in himself, because of the counsel of the Lord Yahweh of hosts, which he hath determined against it. So, Egypt is Egypt, modern day Egypt, America, it's its time to receive recompense, and this is going to be going on a widespread scale. Judah going to be a terror. The 2/3 of Judah it's going to be going crazy here. And the scriptures speak about the hand of the wicked is going to be upon Egypt, upon Babylon the Great, and that's going into that word wicked is going into the laborers, the sowers. So those that we're here in captivity, and we've been taken advantage of and made no account. Esau's made no account of our labors, and so you know it's going to basically like sleeper cells of the 2/3 Israelites that's going to be here in Babylon. And in the apocalyptic times when society break down, Judah going to be going crazy. And we already see across social media and stuff, and through the news that so-called blacks, be doing smash and grabs on a large scale, ransacking these commercial businesses and stealing things and vandalizing, going crazy. And it's just only going to get worse as things continue to deteriorate. deteriorate. Salakia. So, next article says illegal alien invasion. All the big U.S. land grabs by China and globalists may be for housing illegal immigrants. And I did a few videos back about the sleeper cells, and they've been infiltrating the U.S. for quite some time, and now all those sleeper cells. So what's happened? China, just like China's been doing a lot of land grabs in Africa as well, trying to take over that area, and get a stronghold on Africa and the land over there. And then also here in America, they've been, as you probably hear about, Chinese investors and everything buying up land and stuff and buildings. And so you already know that they have the directives. These sleeper cells that's entering in from South America, and crossing over into Texas and going to different places throughout the country. And the Chinese, they coordinate and all of that, and they're just held up in those places until the orders go out to go ahead. And these are military men disguised as average citizens, but they're here to just dormant right now, chilling until that time when it's time for them to get active and start infiltrating. And that's the United Nations armies. Many different all nations have men here, sleeper cells that's waiting. It says massive explosion at EV battery warehouse in Uzbekistan kills 15-year-old boy, injures 163. So that's a major explosion right there. There's more judgments from the Lord, and this technology we know is all wicked. So these electronic vehicles, we know that heard about an article mentioning that in by 2030 they want to do away with gas powered vehicles because they want to make all the vehicles electric, and that's all tying into being able to wave your hand to buy and sell with this particular technology in your hand. But this and the same thing with the vehicles. They want, you won't be able to drive unless you have that to be able to electronically unlock the door of your car and by waving your hand, and drive, go to work and wave your hand and do everything, right? Says Texas Attorney General Paxton's first task is to destroy illegal immigrant colonies after his historic impeachment acquittal. So this devil, he's trying to, he's lying. They speak great things. They speak bold things. They lie, they proud. And all they do is make promises that they'll never keep. They just blowing hot air. And even if he wanted to, he couldn't do anything because the damage is already done. The sleeper cells are already here on a grand scale. So who is he fooling, They already been over here, like he's late to the party, like it's pure madness and lies and folly. So these people are done. It says Jewish Zelensky scams Trudeau to honor Nazi war veteran as Ukrainian and Canadian hero. So Zelensky slapping the Canadian leader in the face, scamming him or whatever, honoring Nazi war veteran. So it's just devils disrespecting and backstabbing devils. So we'll go to Mark 3:26. And if a house be divided, well, we go to 25. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. The house of Esau, they're divided. They're always backstabbing each other, especially in these last days. It's going to get worse. Verse 26, and if Satan rise up against himself, and the physical manifestation of Satan is the so-called white race. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. But Satan's vessels on the earth are the so-called white race. And it's not hard to understand. It says a report RFK Jr., Robert Kennedy Jr., John F. Kennedy's nephew, basically, plans to run as an independent because the Democratic National Committee has rigged the nomination for Biden. And that goes into, that goes into that division and Satan being divided against Satan. He's breaking off from, he don't want to deal with the Democrats because, they're up there about, treachery and lies and cheating, and as Satan being divided against itself. And Taiwan, in his next article, says Taiwan unveils first domestically built submarine amid military modernization and build-up meant to deter a Chinese invasion. So this is just Moabite crime, because Chinese, so-called Chinese, they are from the tribe of Moab, and this is just them coming up against each other, fighting, and Taiwan wanting to be separate from China, but China wanting to absorb them back, into their nation. So Matthew 24, and they're divided against each other as well, all these nations. And this is thanks to Esau Edom, because that's why there's a such thing as North and South Korea, because North Korea has ties and is allies with Russia, and South Korea has ties and has an allegiance to the U.S. That's the serpent. How can he divide? Like, why would a nation be divided against itself with different Edomite nations? Because that's the devil the Bible speaks of, being able to sow discord among brethren. Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And see that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we know this is just the beginning phases of the end. Everyone's divided all over. Edomites, Moabites, so-called Chinese. And all nations is just rising up for war. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And we see the C-19, they're trying to put that in our food. Now that's the new phase, looks like. And then the famine, the lack of food, they call it food insecurity, but that's just famines the Most High is bringing upon the land. And then the earthquakes in diverse places that happen, Libya, no, not Libya, Morocco. And then there's earthquakes every day all throughout. There's an earthquake app you can look at, because there's earthquakes all throughout the entire four corners of the earth. Verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So everything is revving up. This is the beginning of the end of the apocalyptic era until the return of the Messiah. So just want to go into that real quick news update, briefing on what's happening, the latest of today, Monday, October 2nd, 2023. With that being said, hope this video was edifying. Until next video, I say, Shalom.